Well, this is not a spring chicken Bikini Czar, and of course we found these in the cupboard. So of course, Fuji apple, yes. Well, you know, a lot of you like to buy pies, or you like to eat pies. And a lot of times you were buying the pies because it's cheaper to buy the pie than to make the pie. Well, it sure seems like pies are getting more expensive. So now, if you see something really good like this, Fuji apples, you may just want to make it yourself, which is what we're going to do. And if you're curious why there's two different colors, tops and bottoms, guess you're just going to have to tune in to find out why. Hello, this is not a spring chicken. If you're wondering what in the world would I be doing, we are making pie. And we've already showed you how to make pies out of cookies, right, the pie crust. But this time we are using something else. This happens to be a pie crust from Pillsbury. They make it really easy. In fact, there are 2 rolled crusts for a 9-inch pie. They're in this package. So you can always do, of course, just the crust on the bottom, but we're going to do a 2-cruster, which, you know, of course, the crust on the bottom and the crust on the top. But what that means is you have to cook the one on the bottom, take it in, let it cool, put the filling in, and oh, yeah, and then put the topping on again. Oh, so that's why the 2 crusters, they take a bit more time.
And in reality, if you can buy a pie in the supermarket that is basically the same amount of money we spent here. Well, actually, we got $3 invested in this thing, or yeah, $3. But it's going to take you the same amount of time to cook it in the oven as it takes you to make it and cook it. So you might as well make it and cook it.
Yeah, so you might as well. Yeah, so we'll try something new. Now, part of it is on this pie. This is something that's quick, easy to do. We're making it in the oven. Now, I will tell you, Old Cam does make these things in his microwave.
Yep.
So, how does it taste different in the microwave? Because I've never baked in the microwave.
Okay, it's basically you can't brown in the microwave. You can cook in the microwave. You can't brown in the microwave.
So, of course, if you want to see it browned,
you have to put something like sugar on it.
Will sugar brown in the microwave?
Sugar will brown.
Oh.
Yeah, you have to put something on it that will brown. You know, so but that's how I do. That's all I do is I just sprinkle sugar on the top of on the top or on the bottom, and then it browns, and then I put the filling in, and then put top on it. You know, same way.
Okay, so that makes it easy. Now, of course, the pie crust comes in something like this. It's all rolled out. You put it on here, roll it all out, make it kind of flat.
Carefully roll it out.
Oh, yeah, carefully. And in the pie pan, for some of you guys are used to making pies, some of you aren't. A lot of times I use butter, softened butter, and then put a couple tablespoons of that. You can also use Pam.
Actually, I use teaspoons in that one.
Use teaspoons.
Those are teaspoons, not table.
Oh, you had 2 teaspoons in. Oh. Okay.
Okay.
This is kind of an in-between size.
Well, but she's got an oddball spoon, which I always thought was better.
It's not
large.
Really, because here's
they're not a teaspoon, they're not a tablespoon.
It's not a tablespoon.
But that's what she's got.
I haven't done the actual measurement on it.
But it's sort of like a in between. It's not a soup spoon either, so we don't know what they are. But I use them for teaspoons.
So anyway, we put a couple of these odd size on top of here. Pushed it, of course, tossed it around in here.
Yeah, try not to make a big mess.
Would we like to do that?
Well, no, she does. She's not the world's most graceful flower person. I'd love to see her with a flower shifter in her hands.
Oh, you make a complete mess. Which
Yeah.
is probably why I'm wearing a swimsuit, because swimsuits, they're meant to get wet.
Yeah, but she doesn't get dirty when she wears a swimsuit. We've told people that before. She might make a mess everywhere else, but not on herself when she's wearing a swimsuit.
Well, you know, the proper way to cook, of course, is with the apron. However, let's see, if you don't wear clothes and your clothes can't get dirty.
That's right.
So, just for the camera, I am wearing a swimsuit.
That's right. Well, she'd prefer not to wear the swimsuit too, folks.
And if some of you are thinking, well, what if you spill grease on you? Well, if you have grease, then maybe it's important. You know,
Yeah.
hot grease, then you should put something over you.
Yeah,
Or
but
put
we
those
don't deal with that
anti-slap
sort of stuff, though.
Yeah. So anyway, I've pushed it around a few times. We're just going to go ahead and take the lid.
Yeah, because two teaspoons or 2 of those odd-sized things always should be more than enough for the pan. Now, that next thing is just simple. You just put it in and sort of mold it in place. Isn't that something? It's basically impossible to mess up. You know, most people don't realize it's this easy. We try to show people it is real easy to do everything. And this, once again, it is more or less green because this was not bought at the grocery store for this purpose. It was just sitting there, so we decided to use some. Well, we bought some Fuji apples, which we thought would really be neat to eat. So.
You mean Fuji apples?
Fuji apples that we thought would be neat. So instead, because it's cold outside, we decided to concentrate on one thing to warm you up.
I know. Well, part of it is it was warm here in sunny Southern California, so we kind of forgot about it. And then it got cold and rainy, and of course then we're reminded that once again it still is. It's almost February. It's not February.
But it's going to be
cold
for another couple of months.
Yeah, it's still winter. So we just.
That's it. That's how difficult that is.
We've already, of course, preheated the oven.
450.
450. So let's see, for 10 to 12 minutes.
Yep. Or actually, what you do, depending on the weather, screws the time table up. So you have to go back and check it like in about.
I'm supposed to prick the bottom and side of this with a fork.
Well, you can or not because it's got
Does
a
it
group.
make much difference if you prick it or not?
Well, no, this type of pan is designed for that already, remember?
Oh, that's true, because I do not have a flat pan.
No, she doesn't have a flat pan. It's designed already for this purpose.
Okay, so we're just going to pop it in.
That's why we picked it out of the group of pans she does have.
Pie, 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 here we come. Yes. This looks very much done. So I'm just going to turn this off. Let it stay warm. Okay.
You've been on already.
I've been on? You didn't tell. So anyway, I just turned the oven off. It's still staying warm. I'm keeping the door closed because as soon as this pie crust cools,
Which would be 15, 20 minutes.
we're going to be adding the pie filling into the other crust top, and yes, we're going to have pie pretty soon. Yay! Fuji apple pie. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. We're waiting for it to cool.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, so we took it out, it's relaxing, and now you could, of course, use fresh fruit, which is always best. You can use frozen fruit, which, you know, I've always had a hard time with frozen fruit other than putting them in smoothies because they always seem to get a little mushy.
You have to, in this case, you microwave thaw them.
Oh.
So if you let them thaw too much, they will get mushy on you.
Mushy, okay.
They need to be
So
cooked with a little bit of firmness.
Okay, then of course you can do canned stuff. We got this canned Fuji apple because part of it is Fuji apples are good.
And you very seldom find anything like Fuji apples on a shelf.
I know.
We
really.
intended to eat them, but then we got this idea because we had this pie crust for something else and it never got used. And
so, see, this is part of, now this is, I should just say this is all winging it because we don't know. Actually, we will need 2 cans. We didn't know exactly how many cans it would take or anything.
yeah, because this is just, as they say, it is on the fly. We're doing everything we do is basically thought up almost the same day we're doing it. It's what we got available sitting on a shelf, which, like we tell people, we may do things oddball, but we also have the greenest cooking show anywhere because it is nothing is bought specifically for that show. It is all what is sitting on the shelves. You know, like we buy this because we'd never seen the Fuji apples before in cans. We love Fuji apples, so.
Oops.
Yeah. I know. Boy, is that gonna make one
This
magnificent.
is going to be really good. I'm
Yeah.
like really hungry looking at it.
And because it's already in its own syrup, you don't have to do anything to it to make it.
Well, yeah, that's part of it. If you were just using regular apples,
You'd
fresh
have
apples,
to
you'd have to.
sugar them. Because most apples that you would cook, actually what you'd use Granny Smith, mostly use a Granny Smith apple, which is better for cooking. Every apple out there has a different purpose.
Oh.
So now you just got to fit the whole thing in so that the crust all fits on the inside and you're in business.
So, of course, because I make so many pies, not,
No, it's just a matter, you want the crust to all like that. See, she knows what she's doing.
What?
She's, I mean, so sometimes don't think she doesn't know what she's doing when it comes to certain things because she does have relatives that do cook.
No, that's because I've eaten pie before.
Well, yeah, she's eaten pie before.
And I remember what they look like. And I looked at the picture on the package. So you too, even if you don't normally cook, sometimes, yes,
Yeah.
you can cook more. Now part of it is if you're doing something for a special occasion, what you might want to do is do a trial run beforehand.
Yeah, but we never do. We only do, we do
No,
one.
but these are for people. I'm serious. You might want to do a trial run beforehand. I know I did that with my first turkey.
Yeah.
Or you could buy it from somewhere else, like Bristol Farms, already pre-made. And of course,
Yeah.
pies are really easy.
Okay, like we tried to explain when we started, this takes you no more time to do this than it does to cook the same pie that you buy in the grocery store for $4.
Yeah. So part of it is it what the taste that you're after, like a specific brand has a specific taste, or if you create it from scratch, you develop your own recipe that has a specific taste, or if it's based on price. Because if it's based on price, if you want a pie that's under $4, it's like whichever pie looks good under $4, the best you can buy.
Well, you're not
that's
going to get a
okay.
Fuji apple pie.
No.
That's not going to happen.
That's why I like to do some of these things. Like some of these things look a little bit odd. Because they're unique and fun and different,
And we are odd. We do a lot of things that are strange.
I always like to do them a little different. Of course, so your pie can breathe a little bit. We're going to, of course, puncture it. How big do these slots have to be?
No, like a third of the way on each side is what we'd always do.
Remember when you see those apple pies and they've got slots?
That's so the pie can breathe. Otherwise, it'll boil. It will blow off the top for the most part.
Oh, yeah, you don't want it to do that.
See, this gives you a place that, for instance, if it's going to boil over, it should boil over at the holes, hopefully. Not necessarily so. It depends upon how overfilled you. We really got a lot of pie and a lot of apple in there, so we won't know. We've not done it before.
Okay. So here's the other part is we have a sugar. This sugar is, of course, this is decorative that you put on here, and we have pure cane sugar. This is C&H, and this is raw sugar because that's just what I happen to have.
Yeah, you cook with what you got. You don't go out and buy something specifically. First of all, say you're a guy or a girl and you're trying to impress the male or the female you're going with. Go to your cabinets and pick out something that you have sitting there and do what we do with it is to try to make gourmet. I remember once also, I watch a lot of Graham Kerr. Graham Kerr said people have to understand it's easier to cook gourmet than it is anything else.
Now, why did he say that?
Because gourmet is all, it comes from your
It's presentation.
presentation. So,
And then also taste. But
yeah,
a
just
lot
like-
of it's presentation.
like this is just presentation. Everybody can do the sugar in their own way.
And your perforations, instead of putting 4 lines, you can actually
do 3, or you can do
3
2.
lines, you can make a little
You can
sign
do
on it.
fork poles. I mean, it's just a matter. You can sprinkle the
You
sugar
can do
all.
little triangles.
Yeah, you can sprinkle the sugar all over the top, sprinkle it on the line, sprinkle it around the edges. It's all for decoration. That's why he said he meant gourmet cooking is easier than any other style of cooking because it's what you want it to be. And it's how to impress people because they'll know this is totally handmade.
Well, now here's the other part is, I don't know where those directions are. We put this in the oven for 450, which is what the pie crust was supposed to be. We filled it up. I don't even
There are no directions.
There's no directions,
There's
it's
no
ready to
directions. There's no directions on the pot, on this filling.
Yeah.
Period.
Let's see.
There is none.
Here's
So
one.
I'm guessing the
If you
same.
did a perfect apple pie with the filling, let's just say you bake 40 to 45 minutes after it's at 425.
Yeah.
We could go by that.
Yeah. So.
And that was, of course, on the side. We, of course, have modified it, so it gives us kind of a guideline.
And people have to understand we have a temperature inversion outside. It's getting ready to rain, so that causes a problem with
the cooking time.
with the cooking time. So it could take longer, could take slower, but you have to watch it to make certain.
Yeah, so we're gonna find out. We're gonna go ahead and pop this in. We are going to find out. Oh yes. Big. Oh. Maybe. It smells really good. Yes, this is.
Yep. Well, you
This
can't.
is the Fuji apple pie we were making.
You can't buy that for $4.
You cannot buy that. That is definitely for certain. Now, part of it is oh, see, you know that this is a working kitchen.
Because you can't find
They
things.
can't find.
We're looking for the pie cutter.
Always get moved in here.
Yeah, there's a pie thing somewhere in there.
Oh, wait, here it is. I just didn't see it.
Yeah. You gotta get a plate to put the
Oh,
things.
you know what I always think about? This is metal and this is, okay,
Metal.
it's actually one of the good things. This is one of those coated pans and this is metal.
Yeah.
So if I cut this on there, it's
Then
gonna
you'll
scratch
damage
it.
the thing, so what you do is you use, that's the problem.
And most people don't even think about that.
Yeah, well that will definitely do damage to that pan, so we go,
What else
we
do I
should
have?
go
I
look.
guess we're gonna use this.
Okay.
Oh wait, I might have a plastic one.
No, but if you have to, that will work because it's plastic
Wow.
and it won't make any damage to anything. And you just lift the piece out when you cut it with that.
Well, that's true because we cut it with this because part of it is with this metal pan with the coating on it. I wanted to use this to cut it, but I would cut the pan.
I know, we ruin your Teflon coating with the metal pie thing, which people don't really understand.
They don't think about that. Have you ever heard, what is it? An apple pie without cheese is like a, what is it? I forget something like it.
Yeah.
So there are some people that, okay, on your apple pie you could put Cool Whip or whipped cream.
Yeah.
There's some that just absolutely put cheese on it.
Yeah.
I've never quite gotten into the cheese on the apple pie
I never
thing.
understood that either. My father,
Oh,
I think there's something Deutschlander about it.
Is it Deutschlander?
My father would do it. My grandmother, who was Irish, wouldn't have it. But then again, they didn't cook. They just went out and bought because my father learned everything he knew about cooking from my grandmother.
Now part of it is because we're using this thing right here.
Well, it will come out. It won't be pretty, but then again, boy, it's warm too. Look at that. I mean, it doesn't make any difference if it's pretty or not. If you want to let it be pretty, then let it set for about 4 or 5 hours and put it and cook it in a glass container.
Oh yeah, then it would be pretty.
Because we don't have glass. This is what we got.
Well, actually, see, part of it is, although maybe if you want to look gourmet, should be concerned about presentation. Myself, I'm concerned about taste more.
Yeah. And you can smell this outside.
Actually, you can see it. Oh, doesn't that look really good?
We were outside looking for some stuff
Well,
to
and
work
I'm also
with.
using this. I guess I could scrape this, but I don't want to
No,
scrape my
don't.
pan.
You can clean it off with that.
Oh, that looks really good.
Don't.
Now we're going to see if this is really good.
Well, it should be. It smells good, and it looks good.
It looks really good. I'm anxious to try this. See, now here's part of it is while I'm enjoying this on camera, everybody else out there, you guys get to think about it, imagine it, get cheese, fresh apple pie, Fuji apple pie.
And we want people to understand, this took no longer than if you'd have taken a $4 pie and put it in the oven. It's the same cooking time. So, yeah, but you're not going to get Fuji apples.
This is good.